What's up, Bears fans? What's up, Comet Nation? What's up, football fans everywhere? As finally Peak is back on YouTube, everybody get ready for some different kind of football coverage. This channel will change a little bit directions. We'll not be doing so much high school football about one team, about my alma mater or anything like that. That just opens yourself up to a lot of things that don't need to be opened up to with negativity. There's a lot of negative people out there who can take things the wrong way when you're only covering one team. So we're not going to do that. I will at most probably cover the IHSA playoffs as a whole when they do come around. However, this station is going to be committed to the Chicago Bears and a lot of college football. We're going to watch. I'm going to keep my eye on a lot of prospects, and also we're going to talk a lot about Illinois, a lot about Northwestern, a lot about Notre Dame, probably teams like that, teams that I'm interested in. Obviously, I don't care about likes. I don't care about whether you subscribe to the channel or not. That's up to you. If you like what I'm talking about, go ahead and subscribe. If you don't. I don't care. So here we go. This first video, I kind of just wanted to get that out of the way. Also, I'm on a hiatus right now from coaching. I'm just healing up from something, issue I had. So this year, I am going to be doing this channel here, and I want to, just start out by clearing that up this year. We'll be committed a lot to the Chicago Bears, though. And let's go back. Let's talk about what happened last year. Obviously, a fantastic season. I do have clips of me watching end of games, freaking tearing my hair out. I mean, it was, in my mind, it was a very tough season to watch. It was a lot of bad defense, a lot of bad football, a lot of guys who we paid a lot of money to, eating up a hell of a lot of salary cap, who are not on the field. Jalen Johnson, Gordon, Dio, guys like that who we paid and paid and paid a lot of money to, who are eating up a lot of salary cap space and we're not on the field. You cannot have that. You have that, and that is how you end up not winning. That is how you end up consistently being mediocre, is by having guys, signing guys to big contracts and then not having them on the field. And then you got to do something that I never wanted to do, and that's get rid of DJ Moore. DJ Moore was an absolute warrior out there. He was the big play guy who stepped up when we needed him the most, all the time, every time. DJ Moore was there to make the big play. So he is going to be missed big time, but he was 25 million against the cap, and we got to pay all these guys on defense who aren't even out there half the time. So the draft happened. I'm actually pretty excited that Thieneman, it was out there. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm still been working on that for like a month or however long it's been to try to get that name right. I'll keep working on it. But Dylan, very great football player. Go out there, watch his last game against his old team, Penn State, and the play he made to end that game in Happy Valley in the whiteout. How he ended it on an interception. It was a tremendous read. Came off his guy and made a heck of a play. I tell you, that kid's got a nose for the football. He's exactly what we needed to replace another guy in Kevin Byard, who was another guy who had a nose for the football. Obviously, we had all these turnovers on defense, which saved us a lot, and we can't count on that. But you know what? You do make turnovers happen. I think every football team in America should be practicing how to turn the ball over every single practice. So I think a lot of them do that. But we cannot count on that this next year. Also, the secondary does look like it's going to be much improved on paper, but I thought that last year, and then half the guys were not playing. So it's going to come down to these soft tissue injuries and taking care of their bodies, and a lot of it's just darn luck. And then I want to move on a little bit to the stadium. I'm going to hit on it a little bit today, but we're going to have a big stadium video. Probably going to be a long one. I might even get a guest on to talk about it, but The state of Illinois has got to step it up. J.B. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois, really, really needs to not lose the Bears. If he ever wants to win another election, at any election, he cannot lose the founding franchise. You cannot be the governor who lost the Bears. You cannot be the governor who lost the Bears to Indiana. And Indiana is offering the Chicago Bears everything to come there. The only thing they're not offering is the Bears will still be renters. The Bears will still be running if they move to Hammond, Indiana, instead of Arlington Heights. In Arlington Heights, will be paying 100% for their own stadium. The state of Illinois has got to step it up and pay for roads and infrastructure and tax certainty, because it would be a crazy amount of money for the Bears to pay those taxes every year to what it is, how it's set up now. They got to get the Pilot Act passed. I know Brandon Johnson from Chicago was up there with some pipe dream last week that he was going to keep the team in Chicago. That's not going to happen. It's either Arlington Heights or it's Hammond, Indiana. And Illinois has already lost a lot of companies. They're losing a lot of people. There was a poll that said 51% of Illinoisans would move out if they could. That's not good, obviously, and I see why. But Illinois lost Boeing in 2022. Caterpillar, they've lost the Citadel, Citadel. They lost Peak Six Investments, Thoughtful AI. Huge corporations have moved out of Illinois over the last since about during the pandemic. They've just got out of here because of the stupid red tape in Illinois, and we're dealing with the red tape right now. The Illinois Senate needs to get on it. They need to fix the amendments the House threw in there at the last minute. These crazy amendments. The teachers union got involved, and we'll get into more of that in another video. But the Illinois Senate needs to do their job and get this bill passed. And J.B. Pritzker's got to be the one to not lose the Chicago Bears, because if he does, he might as well cash it in. He's never going to win another election again, in my opinion. Now, moving on, we will talk more about the draft. Obviously, I'm pretty excited about some of the guys we got. Some of these guys coming in are very, very quick. We got a lot better with team speed. Not getting a defensive lineman. I saw what was happening at the draft. Obviously, there was defensive linemen coming off the board very, very early, and the Bears would have had to give up massive future draft capital in order to move up to get anybody that they thought would be good to go with Montez Sweat. But I will say this, as I looked back at some of my last videos talking about the Bears, and it was all about they needed to get somebody on defense to rush the passer besides Montez Sweat. Well, you guess what? We're in 2026. That was in 2023. We still have not done it. We've paid a lot of guys to do it. They just haven't been on the field to do it, or they haven't performed well enough to do it. So I'm hoping that Austin Booker, a guy who went out there and made Jordan Love's life like hell on that football field, is a guy that we can start counting on a lot more. Obviously, though, he went down last year. So we've got to get, I think the Bears are in a position to where they're going to have to do something after June 1st. Or sometime in training camp, kind of like what happened with Khalil Mack back in 2018, where we get some type of guy like that. I'm not sure, but they're going to have to do something to get another pass rusher in here, or like Ben Johnson said, coach the guys up and maybe get them to earn their contracts. Because if we keep paying all these defensive players all this money and they're not even on the field, it really is going to kill us salary cap wise, because pretty soon you got to pay Caleb Williams. Then what are you going to do? You're going to pay Caleb Williams and all these guys who are never playing on defense? That doesn't work out that way. It doesn't add up. You only get so much money. This is not baseball. You can't do the Dodgers thing and just keep buying championships. You cannot do that in the NFL. You have to earn championships in the NFL. It's not scripted. So you know what? There's some issues out there that I'm definitely worried about. I do believe Caleb Williams had himself a good year, and that's the main thing. However, you got it was so hard to watch those first 3 quarters sometimes. It was just brutal. And sometimes he'd throw the ball away a lot, so his completion percentage wasn't very good instead of taking sacks. But there's times also when he wasn't comfortable yet in Ben Johnson's offense, so he was hurrying himself up and missing guys who were wide open. He was just like, boom, I see it. I want to hurry up and get to him. He would overthrow it, and the ball would just sail or get dirted. Or, Dylan Smythe, I believe this is the reason why we drafted another, or one of the reasons why we drafted another tight end, was because Dylan Smythe got a lot of balls thrown to him that were coming at him probably about 99, 100 miles an hour because, Caleb in his mind, he's trying to read all the coverages and all the defenses. Something's changing, plays breaking down, he's got to hurry up and make a play. He's trying to wing it at a guy. When you're more comfortable in an offense, you can start throwing the ball to your receivers as a quarterback like you should be. You should know your receivers as a quarterback and know when you have to take something off of it. You can't gun the ball all the time. It cannot be that way. And Caleb's totally capable of taking that step. I think it's going to happen this year under Ben Johnson's scheme. Why he's more comfortable inside the offense. I think it'll be a lot less rushing, running around, a lot less winging the ball at guys who are freaking right in front of his face. The more comfortable you are as a quarterback, the less you have to hurry, the better and more accurate you are. It's that simple, really. And then there's some fundamental issues that he's still working on, but I think it just comes down to comfort, really, and he'll be much more comfortable this year. So I wanted to get a quick video out there, kind of update you guys on the channel. We will also cover a little bit of the Illinois 8 Youth Tackle Football League just because I like to cover the kids and get the kids some love. We don't get any. I know the high school kids get love in the paper and all that, and they get love through, social media a lot more. But the youth kids, they don't get as much love. So I'll try to give the youth program down there in Braidwood, the junior Comets, some love. Obviously, I was a coach for them for years, so I have a special place in my heart for them. And people know one thing, if you remember about me, is I don't care about likes. I don't care if you like me or not. Don't watch if you don't like me. If you do like me, subscribe. If you don't subscribe, great. I don't care. I don't care about likes or subscriptions, basically. So that's pretty much it. Everybody out there, all the mothers out there, have a great Mother's Day. It's 5/19, so enjoy the rest of your day that you have left. But really, every day is Mother's Day. I have one of the greatest moms in the world who's worked her butt off for me her entire life. And without her, I certainly wouldn't be here right now for many reasons. Not just because she had me, but for many reasons, my mom was a very instrumental person in my life, and I am very lucky to have her. And I think every day is Mother's Day, really. So let's enjoy the rest of the day, moms. Everybody out there, have a great day. God bless. Bear down and go Comets.